Breathe in and breathe out. Before I tell you anything, I want you to notice one simple truth. You did not choose that breath. It entered you on its own. It left you on its own. And in between those two moments, you were alive. Sufi masters say, every breath is a messenger, a bridge, a remembrance, a whisper from the one who sustains creation with every inhale. And for most of your life, you've never noticed it. Today, I'm going to show you the Sufi secret of breath, the breath that awakens the heart. Not the beating heart, but the seeing heart. The heart that understands, the heart that feels God. But first, let me take you somewhere.
There is a spiritual principle in Sufism called anfas, the science of the breath. According to Ibn Arabi, your entire spiritual state, your clarity, your nearness to God, your peace, your light, all of it is determined by one thing, the quality of the breath that passes through your heart, not the lungs, the heart. Because the heart, in Sufi teaching, is not a muscle pumping blood. It is a lamp, a mirror, a doorway between the seen and the unseen. When the breath is heavy, scattered, restless, the mirror fogs. You cannot see truth. You cannot feel God. You feel lost, anxious, disconnected. But when the breath becomes pure, soft, silent, present, the heart opens, the mirror clears, and something extraordinary happens. You begin to feel the divine presence inside you. This is not poetry. It is an ancient experiential science, practiced for over 1,000 years by Sufi masters, dervishes, and seekers of God. But here's the secret you've probably never been told. Your breath has always been trying to awaken you. You just haven't been listening.
There is a Sufi saying, the first thing God gave you was breath, and the last thing He will take from you is breath. Think about that. Your life begins with an inhale. Your life ends with an exhale. Everything in between is your story, your struggle, your longing, your seeking, your healing. But the breath, it is the thread that stitches all of it together. Now listen carefully. Sufis teach that when Allah breathed His spirit into Adam, that breath was not just life, it was light, it was consciousness, it was awareness. And every human being, including you, carries a spark of that breath, the divine breath, inside their chest. Most people go their entire lives without ever feeling it. But the Sufi path, the path of remembrance, the path of the heart, is about rediscovering it. Before we awaken the heart, we must understand why it fell asleep. Sufi teachers say the heart closes for 3 reasons. 1. Too much noise. Not outer noise, inner noise. Thoughts, worry, doubt, fear, planning, overthinking. All of that creates turbulence in the breath. 2. Scattered attention. The heart cannot open when the mind is everywhere, except here. 3. Forgetfulness. Not forgetfulness of daily life, but forgetfulness of the source. The moment you forget God, the breath contracts, the heart tightens, the light dims. But the moment you remember Him, even for one breath, the heart softens, opens, glows. Which brings us to the secret.
This is the foundation of all Sufi breathwork. Your breath
must pass through your heart. Not physically, energetically, spiritually. Let me explain. When most people breathe, the air goes in and out of the lungs, but their awareness stays locked in the head. That is why nothing changes. The heart remains untouched. But Sufi breath is different. Sufi breath is slowed down, softened, purified, and guided through the heart. When your awareness rests in your heart as you breathe, the breath becomes remembrance. The breath becomes prayer. The breath becomes dhikr, a wordless form of Allah, Allah, echoing inside your chest. This is the breath that awakens the heart. And you're about to experience it. But first, let me tell you why this breath is so powerful.
Sufis say that every breath you take contains the sound of the divine name. Listen closely. When you inhale, the sound is Ah. When you exhale, the sound is La. Together, Allah. Every breath you take is saying His name, whether you intend it or not. You cannot escape it, because your breath comes from Him, and it returns to Him. Once you understand this, your breath becomes sacred. Now let me guide you into the practice. If you're able to, place one hand gently on your chest. Close your eyes. Now inhale softly, through the nose, as if you are inhaling light. Hold it for one heartbeat, and then exhale slowly, as if the world is melting away from your shoulders. Good. We will do this 3 times. Inhale, hold, exhale. But now I want you to shift your awareness. Instead of breathing from your lungs, breathe from your heart. Imagine the air entering your chest like a soft glow, passing through the very center of your heart, and then flowing out. Again, inhale through the heart, exhale through the heart. One more time. Inhale through the heart, exhale through the heart. Notice something? The breath has become quieter, softer, more sacred. You are no longer breathing. You are being breathed. This is the beginning of awakening.
If you felt warmth, tingling, soft pressure, tears, a drop in anxiety, sudden calm, a feeling of closeness to God, this is normal. This is the heart beginning to open. Because the Sufi masters discovered something profound. The heart does not awaken through thinking. It awakens through breath. Thoughts live in the head. Presence lives in the breath. And God lives in the heart. By uniting the breath and the heart, you create a bridge between the mind and the divine. This is the Sufi secret.
Keep your eyes closed and place your awareness gently on your chest. Earlier on, you felt the first opening, a soft shift, a quietening, a sense that the breath is no longer just air, but a kind of light flowing through you. Now we enter the deeper layer. Because the Sufi path teaches something revolutionary. Your heart is not harmed by the world. Your heart is harmed by your breath reacting to the world. Let that sink in. Pain doesn't close the heart. Trauma doesn't close the heart. Loss doesn't close the heart. The breath you took in the moment of pain, the tight inhale, the sharp exhale, the shock, the fear, the contraction, that is what closed the heart. And the beautiful thing, It can be undone, because the breath that once closed your heart can open it again.
Sufi masters say the heart awakens in 3 breaths, or rather 3 types of breath. Each one takes you deeper than the last. 1. The breath of letting go. Releases tension, fear, heaviness. 2. The breath of presence. Brings you back to your true self. 3. The breath of light. Opens the heart to divine nearness. Now we focus on the first 2, the breath of letting go and the breath of presence, because you cannot pour light into a heart that is full of noise. Let us begin with the first. This breath is simple, but it is extremely powerful. Sufi teachers used it before zikr circles, before whirling, before prayer, before speaking, before sleep, because it cleans the inner air of the heart. And right now, we will do it together.
Step 1. Inhale slowly for 4 seconds. But make the inhale soft, as if you are lifting something delicate. Let the breath enter through your heart, not your mind. Step 2. Hold for 2 seconds. Imagine the breath washing the inside of your chest like water. Step 3. Exhale completely, as if you are releasing everything. Old pain, old memories, old fear, heavy thoughts, tension in the chest, anything unspoken. Let it all leave through the exhale. Slow, long, gentle. Now again. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel your chest soften. Feel your heart become lighter. One more time. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Release. If you feel emotion rising, or you suddenly feel lighter, or tears forming behind your eyes, please know, this is not weakness, this is purification. The exhale is removing what the heart has been carrying silently for years, because the heart does not forget, but the breath can help it forgive. Now that the old heaviness has loosened, we move to the second layer. This breath brings you back to the here, the now, the true you beneath everything you carry. Sufis call it nafs al-hudur, the breath of presence. Here is how it works. Step 1. Bring your awareness 100% to your heart, not on your thoughts, not on your face, not on your surroundings, just the center of your chest. Step 2. Inhale as if your heart is waking up. Slow, warm, peaceful. Step 3. Exhale as if your heart is relaxing into God. Soft, melting, surrendering. Try it now. Inhale, exhale. Again, inhale through the heart, exhale through the heart. Good. Now something subtle will happen. The breath becomes quieter, your awareness grows sharper, and your heart begins to glow. Not physically, but inwardly. This glow is the early stage of hudur, presence, consciousness, awakening. Sufi masters discovered a hidden truth. The heart opens when it feels safe. Not safe in the worldly sense, safe in the spiritual sense. Safe to release, safe to surrender, safe to remember, When your breath is slow, soft, steady, the heart relaxes, the ego quiets, the mind dissolves, and the soul emerges. You may notice warmth behind the chest, a soft buzzing, a feeling of expansion, a sense of being watched by mercy, calmness so deep it feels unfamiliar. All of this is normal. This is the heart coming alive.
Many people try to awaken the heart through reading, thinking, forcing, emotional intensity, spiritual pressure. But the heart does not open to force. It opens to breath, because breath carries the quality of rahmah, divine gentleness. God has many attributes, but the breath only carries one: mercy, softness, compassion. This is why Sufi breathwork melts the walls of the heart without effort. And now that your heart is softened, cleared, opened, you are ready. Ready for the moment the Sufi masters call the descent of light.
If you've reached this point, something inside you is already awakening. Because the breath you've been practicing is not just air moving in and out. It is the original dhikr, the remembrance that existed before words, before language, before the tongue learned to say, Allah, Allah. It is the remembrance of the soul. So now we go deeper. We move from simply breathing to becoming breathed. There comes a moment in Sufi practice, and it often happens quietly, when the breath begins to feel like it is breathing you. You are no longer the one pulling the air in. Something finer, softer, more ancient begins guiding you. The great Sufi master Bayazid Bastami described this moment perfectly. I went from remembering God to God remembering me. Your breath shifts from effort to surrender, from doing to being done unto. This is the moment when your chest softens without trying. Your heartbeat steadies on its own. Your spine lifts as if gently pulled upward. Your face relaxes spontaneously. You're not forcing anything. The body is responding to something higher. This is the signature of divine breath entering the system.
Now I want you to experience something mystical, yet entirely real in Sufi tradition. The great masters taught that the breath descends into the body in 3 stages, each awakening a different chamber of the spiritual heart. Stage 1. The breath touches the physical heart wall. As you inhale slowly, you will feel the air touch the left side of your chest, almost like a warm hand resting there. This is the doorway, the threshold of remembrance. It softens the tension we carry around the heart, old hurts, old stories, old disappointments. Stage 2. The breath enters the invisible heart, al-qalb. With the next breath, notice the sensation go deeper, deeper than muscle, deeper than bone, deeper than thought. The breath begins moving inward into what the Sufis call al-qalb, the subtle heart. This is the heart that perceives truth without argument, the heart that knows God without needing proof, the heart that recognizes beauty instantly. People describe this as a warmth spreading behind the sternum, a gentle radiance, a weight lifting, an inner spaciousness blooming. This is not imagination.
This is subtle physiology that modern science is only beginning to understand. Stage 3. The breath touches the secret heart, sirr. This final stage is sacred. It is where the breath reaches the innermost chamber, the sirr, the secret heart. This is the place where only God and the soul meet. No anger can reach here, no fear, no ego, no past. When the breath touches this center, people often feel a tear rise without sadness, a smile form without decision, a feeling of coming home, a quiet that is not empty but full. This is the heart awakening, not emotionally, not psychologically, but spiritually.
Now I will guide you through the most powerful part of the entire practice. The Sufis call it raja, the breath of return. It is the breath that brings you back to the origin, the source, the one. Ready? Sit comfortably. Let your shoulders fall. Release your jaw. Soften your eyelids. And now, step 1. Inhale for 4 seconds, but pull from above. Imagine the breath descending from the space just above your head, not from your nose, not from your chest, from above. This signals the body that this is not ordinary breath. Step 2. Hold for 2 seconds, but let the heart expand. Don't lock your lungs. Instead, imagine the heart opening gently, like a flower responding to sunlight. Step 3. Exhale for 6 seconds while whispering inwardly, Allah. You don't have to say it out loud. Just pronounce it within yourself. Feel the breath leaving the body, as if returning to its source. Step 4. At the bottom of the breath, pause for 1 second. The single second is the gateway, the veil. It is where the ego has no breath, where the self becomes transparent, where the soul becomes audible. If you listen closely in that 1 second silence, you will feel a presence. The Sufis call it the breath of God entering the breath of the servant. After a few rounds of this breath, something extraordinary starts to happen. Your perception changes. You begin to feel that the world around you has more space. Colors feel slightly deeper. The mind becomes quieter without effort. Emotions soften like melting ice. Compassion rises naturally. You begin to see with the heart, not metaphorically, not symbolically, but literally. The heart begins to perceive reality with clarity. This is why Sufi masters spoke so often of the eye of the heart. When the breath awakens the heart awakens its vision. You sense truth instantly. You feel sincerity immediately. You become aware of beauty everywhere, even in suffering. Your soul begins to remember why it came here. There is a final moment, and it is the most precious. After a few cycles of this breath, after surrendering, after allowing the heart to open, you will sense something subtle. A movement, a whisper, a vibration, not coming from the mind, not coming from your imagination, but from deep within your chest. It feels like the heart is whispering back, as if the divine is saying, I am here. I have always been here. You only needed to breathe. This is the heart awakening. Not as an idea,
not as a concept, but as a living, breathing reality within you. To seal this session, place your right hand on your heart. Feel its warmth. Feel its sincerity. Feel the life moving beneath your palm. Take one last slow breath and say quietly within yourself, "Return me to you," and let everything go. You have now experienced what many seekers spend years searching for: a direct encounter with the breath that awakens the heart. And this is only the beginning.
If you have walked with me through this journey, from the first breath of remembrance to the descent into the secret chambers of the heart, then you are no longer the same person you were when you began. An awakened heart does not return you to your old life. It gives you a new way of seeing, feeling, walking, and breathing through the world. And today, you will learn how to live from that awakened place. This is the path the Sufis call suluk, the journey home. One of the earliest signs that the heart has awakened is that your relationship with time changes. You stop rushing, not because you're lazy, but because you're aware. You begin to feel that life is not something to be chased, but something to be received. Conversations become deeper. Silence becomes nourishing. Walking feels different. Your footsteps become softer, more intentional, as if the earth is alive beneath you. Every moment feels like it contains a message. This is the heart awakening, and the first step of the path is simply this: move through life at the speed of awareness, not the speed of anxiety.
When the heart awakens, your emotions shift from being storms to becoming waves. You still feel sadness, frustration, longing, even anger, but the difference is profound. You no longer drown in them. You witness them, like clouds passing through a spacious sky. There is a quiet watcher inside you, a presence that does not collapse into every feeling. This presence is the awakened heart, and because of it, you begin to understand something very rare. Your emotions are not your identity. They are visitors, and you are the host. This transforms the way you experience yourself. You become gentler with your own humanity. When the heart awakens, beauty stops being entertainment and becomes guidance. A sunrise can break you open. A soft breeze can feel like a message. A kind smile can feel like a sacred gift. Even the smallest ordinary moments become illuminated from within. This is why the great Sufi poet Yunus Emre said, "Wherever you turn, there is God's face." You start seeing the divine signature everywhere, in nature, in people, in struggle, in joy. Beauty becomes a mirror, reflecting the one who created it. And this brings you to the next step of the path. Seek beauty daily. Let it renew your heart. Let it teach you how to love.
A heart that has awakened does not become emotionally soft, it becomes spiritually strong. You begin to see others differently. Their anger looks like unprocessed pain. Their harshness looks like fear. Their arrogance looks like insecurity. Their coldness looks like loneliness. You stop reacting. You start understanding. And from this understanding, compassion flows. Not sympathy, not pity, but deep recognition. You begin to see the suffering beneath people's behavior and the divine light beneath their suffering. This is why Rumi said, "Be a lamp, a lifeboat, or a ladder." The awakened heart naturally becomes a lamp that brings clarity, a lifeboat that brings safety, a ladder that elevates others. And this is the fourth step. Respond to the world from your heart, not your wounds. This is the secret of all secrets. When the heart awakens, solitude stops feeling empty and becomes full. You begin to feel accompanied, not by imagination, not by fantasy, but by presence. The Quran describes this moment. He is with you wherever you are. You may not have the words for it, but you feel it. A quiet warmth, a subtle companionship, a stillness that feels alive. This is the moment the Sufis call anis, divine intimacy. And once you taste it, you are never truly alone again.
Now you must integrate everything. Here are the daily steps, simple but extraordinary. 1. Begin each morning with 1 minute of conscious breath. No technique, just awareness. A single minute brings you into remembrance. 2. Place your hand on your heart at least once a day. This reconnects you with the inner center of your being. 3. Speak less, listen more. Silence sharpens the heart's ability to perceive truth. 4. Move gently, even when life is fast. Your speed shapes your inner state. 5. Spend a moment each day looking for beauty. Noticing beauty strengthens gratitude, and gratitude strengthens connection. 6. Whisper a short prayer throughout the day. It can be, Ya Allah, or Guide my heart, or simply, Thank you. Repetition builds resonance. Resonance builds remembrance. End each night with the breath of returning. The Raja breath reconnects you to the source. These small actions, repeated daily, turn awakening into a lifestyle. There comes a day when the awakened heart stops being a visitor and becomes your guide. You begin to trust its signals. A tightening means not this. An expansion means this is right. A heaviness means be cautious. A warmth means move forward. The heart becomes your compass, your teacher, your sanctuary. And this is the final truth of the path. The heart does not awaken once. It awakens again and again, each time revealing a deeper layer of the divine. Your journey is not ending here. It is just beginning. And now you walk it with an awakened heart.